Good evening, everybody, or good day, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Catch Up with Sonny. Show number six. This time about the casting news from that we got from the Last of Us HBO series and some other stuff as well. We can talk about pretty much anything besides the main news stuff. I don't know for how long this show is going to go. Usually it's about 2 hours, but it's just me this time around, so we'll just see for how long we can keep it going. Depends on all of you guys, your questions, comments, all that good stuff, all the interaction that we're going to get in the chat, the questions in the through Streamlabs. And this time around, it should also be a possibility for you guys to use Super Chat. So yeah, that's a new thing that finally, we got around to get some monetization on our YouTube channel. We've been holding off for a while, and then I sent it in for a review, and that took a while as well. As I'm sure maybe some of you guys know, that stuff sometimes it takes a while to get reviewed and get accepted into that program. But we managed to do it, and you may also have noticed that there are more commercials cropping up on some of our videos. And I, of course, don't want that whole thing to just run amok and for there to be commercials every like 2 minutes or something. That would be horrible for you guys to watch that. And I don't want that at all. So I'm gonna try and go through as many of them as I can to try to just put in the commercial breaks where it makes sense, like not in the middle of a reaction necessarily. But we also do need to make some money for this channel to like keep growing. So it is a revenue stream that at some point we just had to try out. But yeah, I see people are here. People are in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I almost went with the very German thank you, but um, but yeah, welcome, and let's just get straight into the news. Or what I usually that's how I usually start the whole thing is a little WandaVision review. And I'm going to do it the same way that Kat and I did it last time around. First off, I'm going to talk about it with like non-spoilery, no big details or anything like that. I'm not going to delve into it like that. But then I'm also after that just going to take maybe a quick 5-10 minutes, depending on your comments and questions as well, and talk a little bit spoilers because there is some stuff to get into, and we did forget to talk about one very important thing in particular in our reaction or during the discussion. So I want to highlight some of the comments that we got, just concerning that thing that we forgot to talk about. And yes, I'm wearing a headset today because I don't know, the microphone that we are usually using for these live shows. I don't necessarily think it's like the audio is that great all the time. So I think it's going to be a bit more clear when I do it like this. It has the downside of me looking like yeah, with these big ass headphones and looking like yeah, doing something else, or it's the ones that I usually use when I am doing the Twitch streams. But yeah, I think it's that the sound might get through a little bit clearer. And where is Kat? She is doing other stuff. So, as advertised, it is just me today. It is just simply a catch up with Sunny and no one else, no guests. That's going to happen once in a while. I was trying to get a guest or maybe some guests on this show and talk about something in particular that has to do with like the Schmodown and the first class leak, but that it kind of fell through, or I didn't really get a reply. So yeah, that might be at some other point. Hey, thank you so much. I can see that's Smo, aka Major Dad, donated 25 Danish krona through Super Chats. All right, he's testing it out and seeing that yes, that thing does actually work. and that's real cool, I think. And so for you guys out there, if you've been wanting to maybe donate, but you don't want to go to a different website and sign in via Streamlabs, then you can now do it through Super Chat. I'm still gonna encourage the Streamlabs thing, but that's only because we get a bigger cut from that. They don't take as much of the money as YouTube does. YouTube has a tendency to take a big piece of the cake, so to say. But hey, it all counts like towards keeping the channel alive. So I'm very thankful for all the support that we have gotten, and not just financially, but also the all the comments and views and very nice and sweet comments that we've gotten on some of our recent videos, and especially the WandaVision stuff. I'm really satisfied with that. It's a bit of a hell to get them out on YouTube most of the time because the copyright stuff and Disney Plus, they are just vigilant when it comes to that. But yeah, doing my best, and thankfully, like last night, it wasn't as bad as the previous week where I had to keep trying for many hours. So yeah, there it is. And I do also want to mention for the patrons out there that I just put up our full-length reactions to The Legend of Korra Season 2 episodes 5 and 6. And I am gonna get the early reaction for episode 5 out tomorrow as soon as possible. It's just, yeah, that's also a bit of a struggle with the copyright stuff. All right. And I see already someone is asking about a very specific thing that yes, I could probably have put that as a big news thing or as the thumbnail, and that would draw in some people and some views who are maybe curious about what we think about the whole Gina Carano situation. But no, I'm not really going to talk about that. Not going to comment on that whole thing. I don't want to create any divide here in the chat. We want to keep it light and just happy and talk about most of all, pop culture stuff that we love and the implications that might happen there. Like, I can talk about like what might happen to her character, Cara Dune, going forward. What I see happening to her if they're going to go forward with that character or not, recast, whatever. But I'm not going to go into details about the real life stuff with Gina Carano because that's just opening a Pandora's box that I don't really want to open right now, and I hope that you can appreciate it. Alrighty, Roo. And I see some people that I know in the chat. That's always very nice. And some new people. That's fucking amazing. Sorry for the F-bombs. It's gonna happen sometimes. So I hope you're not opposed to that. Oh, and it is Saturday. It is the weekend. And it may seem like we're drinking a lot all the time at the moment. I swear we're not drinking all the time. It's just yeah, sometimes still. But cheers, guys. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday. This is a little whiskey and Coke. The ice cubes are already gone, which is kind of weird because it's almost like it is freezing. It's very cold, so they should still be able to hold up. But hey, it's all good. So cheers, skål in Danish, as they say. Just gonna remove this. Ah, yep, I definitely put plenty of whiskey in that. All right, good. Uh, definitely more F-bombs without cat here to remind you. Yep. And yes, not creating division. I do not want to do that. We're gonna keep it light and fluffy, I was about to say. We can always get into some stuff, but just not that, not here on the channel. There are so many other places out there on Twitter and on YouTube where people are talking about it, addressing the whole thing and giving their opinion and picking a side or whatever. That's not, we're not going to do that on this channel. All right, slurp. Yes, exactly. But all right, WandaVision, as I promised, we're going to start out with that. And we recently had the episode number six, or episode six. And there are nine in total, as far as I know. I've heard some people talk about that maybe the last three episodes are going to be like an hour-long episodes. We'll see, we'll see. There were plenty of rumors about that with the Mandalorian too, that oh, all the episodes in season two, they're gonna be hour long or 45 minutes, and it turned out that no, like they were still, between that um 30-minute to 45-minute mark, really. And oh, here we go. Another donation apocalypse. You keep doing this, and you are, among others, one of the people that are really keeping this channel afloat. And we appreciate it so, so, so much. And I assume that it's money that you can spare, and that you're not just living off a rock or anything. So thank you so, so, so much for that very, very generous donation. We really, 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 really appreciate it. People are saying, "Hi, Cat." Is Cat in the Oh, she's in the chat. All right, all right. So even though she's doing some other stuff, she can still join in a little bit in the chat. So that's very nice. So in a sense, Kat is still a part of this live stream. Anywho, getting back on track with WandaVision, I really, really, really enjoyed this episode. It's not a big spoiler to say that it was a Halloween special, and it was in the name. All new Halloween Spectacular, I think that was the name of the episode. And that is something that you see a lot in sitcoms, especially American sitcoms. They'll have these specials that are related to some sort of holiday, and this one was, yes, Halloween. And it also makes sense to get into that and with some of the spooky stuff that's going on, because, yeah, the implications of everything, what Wanda is doing, it is quite serious. Quite, it is some spooky stuff. And I, for one, am really enjoying that. The acting is just, it continues to just be mwah, stellar on this show. They all do a really, really good job. But if you ask me, like someone like Paul Bettany, he is just flexing those acting muscles at the moment, both with the comedy and with the drama. A lot of face acting going on there. He's just yeah, there's so much emotion there in his face. And when you think about him playing a character like Vision, who is not human, it's an android, so to say, but he's still like he's putting so much more into the role and so much more like besides what we've seen before, at least in the MCU. Not that he was 100% a one note like stiff character or anything like that, but it's just in this show, he's just become so much more. Kat and I, like, we've always really enjoyed both Wanda and Vision in the MCU movies. They are some of our favorite characters, and especially their interaction. And we actually recently rewatched Infinity War, and that scene. Sorry, here comes Infinity War spoilers. I'm sure all you guys have seen that movie by now, or you should have at least. That scene where she has to destroy the stone in Vision's head, the Mind Stone, and him saying that it's okay, you can never hurt me, Wanda. I love you, and her like just tears just streaming down her face. It's such an emotional scene, and watching that while in the middle of the whole WandaVision thing and having those characters come to the forefront way more than they've done before, it adds sort of like a different aspect to that whole scene, or at least it adds more weight to that whole scene. And it was extremely sad before, but watching it now and knowing what comes after, and how Wanda is yeah, you could say kind of losing it because of everything she's lost, and most recently Vision. It's ooh, yeah, it kind of broke us once, like again, and we were both tearing up watching that scene. And we're gonna watch Endgame, I think, soon as well. So there's gonna be some more crying there. Those fucking movies. Oh man, yeah, I really really love it. And I see some more people in the chat mentioning Bettany, yeah, loved since A Knight's Tale. I remember seeing him for the first time in A Knight's Tale, and he definitely got to flex his comedic muscles in that movie as well. It's an interesting movie. If you haven't seen it, then check it out. Yeah, it's about a knight, and it is medieval, but it's still there are some very modern elements to it, and some "We Will Rock You" and stuff like that. There's music that's definitely not from that time. I also see Jimmy mentioning I enjoyed the Kick-Ass reference. That's something that we didn't talk about. Uh, and I guess yeah, I could say that without spoiling. It's not really a big deal, or it's not a big part of that episode. But yes, there is a reference, Kick-Ass reference, or at least they say the word Kick-Ass, and it could definitely be a reference to the movie Kick-Ass, where both Aaron Taylor Johnson and Evan Peters they are in that movie, and those two actors, having played or you're playing Quicksilver, Taylor Johnson, he did play him in Age of Ultron, and now we have Evan Peters playing him again, sort of. Yeah, he uh, he got introduced in the previous episode last week, so I don't consider that a spoiler for this week's episode. But mentioning spoilers, I do wanna get into just some of the stuff that went on in this week's episode of WandaVision. So I'm just gonna find a little spoiler tag that I made last time around. There we go. So now you know I am talking spoilers. If you look at the screen, when I remove that, then it is safe again. If you don't want any WandaVision spoilers. But what I said I was gonna do is, I'm gonna bring up just a few of the comments that we got on our reaction on YouTube, reaction and review video, where I pinned a comment where I encourage people to just tell us their theories when it comes to the commercial that we got, that very disturbing commercial, claymation 90s style commercial that we got in WandaVision episode 6. So I'm just gonna look at some of them here, and then if some of you people are here who posted those comments, then yeah, here's a little shout out, and then we're also gonna try and mention some of them in like next time around in our reaction to episode 7, because we promised to do that as well, and I think there is definitely something to be said about that commercial with the whole like the shark jumping out of the water to that little kid just sitting there abandoned on an island starving, and he offers him some yo magic some yogurt, yo magic yogurt, and the kid can't open it, and essentially just dies trying to open this yogurt thing, yo magic thing, and then it ends with the commercial saying that it's only for survivors or something to that extent. That was freaking dark, if you ask me. All right. So I'm just gonna read out like the first one here. I think that there are some um, very good comments when it comes to like how you can interpret that commercial. The first one from Mark B. Poplar says it's an extremely grim interpretation, but it might mean that Westview residents, especially the ones closest to the border of the Hex, might be literally starving. Those dentist appointments you mentioned last episode that she couldn't possibly be taken care of. Yeah, she wasn't lying. She isn't taking care of them, but that doesn't mean the residents didn't get cavities, so to say. They just have to suffer them in silence, smiling all along. That is very dark. And of course, not just talking about going to the dentist here, but just keeping them alive, making sure that they eat and drink and sleep. Like, can she really do all of that with all of these people? And we even saw in the episode how it seemed like when it was not in the immediate area where Wanda was and where the cameras was kind of, on for the sitcom part of it, that people were just in loops or they were doing absolutely nothing. They just stopped. So yeah, that is, the implications in that. it's quite grim, and you could say that yeah, if they can't feed off of Wanda's yo magic, or if she can't do what she needs to do with her magic abilities, even though it's not strictly speaking magic per se, it's like when it comes from the Mind Stone, but that's a whole thing to get into. Um, yeah, then they might be slowly decaying. And there's also the thing that we saw in the episode that Darcy mentioned to Monica and showed her on the computer that like we've analyzed your blood, and just the fact that you've been in there and now out again, like it's clear to see that your blood is being changed, or your whole the whole thing, like at a molecular level. What is happening with these people? Like how can they, yeah, is it gonna have like some sort of a lasting effect for these people? Or are they just gonna die soon? Just start dying around there, around Wanda and everybody else inside of the hex? I don't know, but it's some really dark shit right there. And even I've seen some people mentioning that it could also, like when you're talking about changing someone or something like at a molecular level, that could also be a way for them to introduce the mutants to the MCU now that like they're being changed, and maybe they're all because they are in some way being influenced by Wanda and her powers and what comes from the Mind Stone, that they might also become like Wanda and like what Quicksilver was, and now um, Tommy and Billy, aka Wiccan and Speed. Is that in the right order? I I always seem to like mix them up. Like who like is Tommy Wiccan or Speed or the other way around, or who's Billy? But yeah, I'm sure you can tell me in the comments. Cheers. Again, I need to drink, just hydrate a little bit so my throat doesn't get like and I start coughing in the middle of everything. So yeah, once again, skål. Ah, and I see you guys are discussing it in the chat as well. That's great. There is a lot to talk about. Yeah, okay, sorry. And we have some more comments here, so I'm just gonna highlight a few more, and then we can definitely move on to some of the other stuff. So this is from Man Spider, the commercial. It's talking about the citizens of Westview. So yeah, kind of the same thing, especially those that are far from the Wonder Spell and are stuck. Like that lady that was crying. They can't move, eat, sleep, or do anything. Yes, that definitely supports the one from before. And one here from Tricky D. My Yo Magic theory is that death is natural and prolonging life and resurrecting the dead through magic is unnatural, reinforcing Wanda's belief that death is permanent. So yeah, that's more on a metaphorical level, maybe, or it's just an underlying theme there for Wanda. And yeah, I think that's definitely a lot to talk about too. Um, and we got one here from Ice Metal Punk. The shark in the commercial said, I used to be hungry all the time. Then I snacked on your magic. Seems like someone is feeding on Wanda's magic somehow. Whether that's Mephisto, like many people suspect, or someone else is unclear. But it would be the first commercial that isn't related to Wanda's past and traumas. Yes, that might be true. Yeah, because the previous commercials that we've had have all been relating in some way to her past, be it all the way back to Sokovia, her upbringing, how she lost her parents, how she got her powers, lost her brother, and like how she was being manipulated and influenced by Hydra and Strucker. I know that's how they pronounce his name, but they basically the way that they spell the name Strucker in the MCU, it's a U with an umlaut over it, the two dots. It should actually be Strucker, but yeah, never mind. And I see the dear Hooplehead USA has also donated. Are you going to talk about the stereo app some more? Yes, I am actually planning on doing that. definitely. So that let that be a little tease for you guys that I'm gonna mention something about an app called Stereo. Maybe you can look it up in the meantime. I think it's something that is pretty damn cool. All right, maybe one more comment. Let's see here. Bum 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 bum. Okay, we have a pretty long comment here, so I'm gonna let that be the last one that I highlight here on this stream from Silent Toaster. I think that's the way to pronounce it, Cylon Toaster or Kylon Toaster. The most common theme most of the commercials have had is they have all represented trauma from Wanda's life. Quicksilver even calls it out sort of during the joke Halloween flashback, when he mentions he must have suppressed the memory. The commercials are separate from the TV show, thus they represent Wanda compartmentalizing her traumas slash bad memories. The Stark Toaster equals Stark weapons killed her family. The Von Strucker watch or von Strucker watch. Baron von Strucker from Hydra experimented on her. Hydra soak. Hydra Lagos paper towels. She got a lot of people killed at Lagos in Civil War. Yes, and that was that whole thing when you made a mess that you didn't mean to, and she definitely didn't mean to do that. I think this one might represent some form of survivor's guilt. The motto of the yogurt was snack for survivors. But ultimately, the yogurt's yo magic didn't save the kid on the island who died anyways because they couldn't even open the container. That could be interpreted many ways, but maybe the simplest one is the fact that her magic couldn't save people from dying, especially Quicksilver and Vision. Or it doesn't really work on the dead. Only survivors can snack on it. That's yeah, that's there we got the whole life and death thing and if she can mess with that or not. Which it seems like, yeah, she probably or most likely can't do that. But yeah, I like the very that comment and how like it really just broke everything down when it comes to the commercials, and it is like there is so much to this show, and that's also what we love about it, that you can break this stuff down after watching it and get a lot out of it, look at all the Easter eggs and look at it from different angles, all the references. It's pretty damn awesome. Bum, 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 bum. I had something I wanted to say about it, but my mind just went poof and it was gone. What did I want to say? Nope, it's not coming back. All right, so that's gonna do it for the comments there that I at least wanted to highlight on this stream, and then we will probably highlight some more of that and talk some more about it next time around on WandaVision, next WandaVision reaction. So yeah, okay, I'm just gonna yeah take this comment from Hooplehead before we end the spoiler talk. We know the multiverse is coming. At first, I thought Quicksilver was from another universe, but with the latest episode, now I'm not so sure. Do you think WandaVision has opened the multiverse at this point? That is a very good question. I don't think she did so on purpose. She might, some of the stuff that's been going on, like we did learn from this episode that she does have a lot of control over what's going on, but she doesn't know how it started still. And I still believe that she's also doing some stuff like subconsciously, and maybe, her brother showing up and not looking like he did before, it might not be because someone planted that person there. That could also be that is definitely also a theory that it was someone who was planted there to get some information. But it could also just be her brother and her just her version of her brother in a way, but it didn't pan out the way that she thought it was going to, or the way that she's like really wanted. So like subconsciously, she brought him in from the multiverse, or like or just brought in another Quicksilver because no, she can't bring in people who are already dead, but she can in some way like give them, or she gave that version, like the X-Men version of Quicksilver, she gave him the MCU version's memories in a way, because it does seem like he remembers stuff from that time. But she also blasted him towards the end, and that might just have been because he said what he said about Vision. So that yeah, so many, 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 many theories, and so much intrigue and mystique still with this amazing show. Yeah, and I see someone mentioning here that even yeah, Kat Denning said that she's in other projects that will come later in Marvel. That it's not WandaVision. So I wonder if she's in Loki or Falcon or in Loki or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, we'll see. I like the idea of some of these minor characters popping up again in some of the other shows. Definitely. Cheers. All right, I am gonna remove the little spoiler thing just so that everybody can join in again if some people perchance were just waiting um, for it to disappear if they haven't watched the thing yet. Even see someone asking here, Brace Juice, is WandaVision accessible to people who haven't caught up with the MCU but knows a ton about the Marvel comics? I think so. Like I've heard people that or like I heard from people that maybe haven't really watched all of the MCU or aren't 100% caught up, that they still really enjoy the show. So like I'm sure you can definitely enjoy it. There's a lot to enjoy in it, both with the drama and the comedy, the action, the effects, the acting. But I'm also sure that if you have seen all of the MCU stuff up until this point, then you will most likely get way more out of it. Um, but you could also just watch a few select MCU movies and um, just so that you are up to speed at least with like those two characters in a sense. So yeah, that's no matter what, I think it's a really good show, and I'm looking so much forward to the last three episodes. But that's gonna do it for the WandaVision non-spoiler talk and spoiler talk that I always start these things with. Gonna have to come up with something new to start the streams with when when WandaVision is over. Although then it's only gonna be a week, and then we're gonna be starting the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So there's more MCU stuff coming, and they are opening the floodgates once again. Even though, and I think like we can quickly talk about this as well if you guys want to. Black Widow, the movie. What's gonna happen with that one? Because Kevin Feige recently, just yeah, said that he does not want the thing on streaming. He wants it in cinemas. He's been pretty adamant about that. He's not really interested in having the big cinematic movies on the streaming only on Disney Plus. He wants them in cinemas. So it's just my question is just for how long can they keep that going? For how long can they wait with some of this stuff? Because they also have a story going that they need to keep to, and I'm sure there are some of the stuff like they need to release before they can release some other stuff, be it series or movies. I don't even know, like Eternals. We were supposed to get that like November last year or something, right? I'm pretty sure that that thing has already been filmed. It's already it's done. So yeah, Black Widow. I don't know about you guys, but what would you like? Like you can definitely sound off in the comments here. Would you like to watch Black Widow on Disney Plus, or would you prefer it in a movie theater, or don't is it like I don't care. I just want to watch the freaking movie. Movie theater, Disney Plus. I don't care. just give me the movie. I'm very curious to see what you say about that. Because if you ask me, I might be, of the mind at this point that just give us the damn thing, just because I'm afraid that if they keep waiting and waiting and waiting, then people are maybe gonna lose interest, and they're gonna be like, well, Black Widow is dead anyway, and this being a prequel, like how many implications can there be? Like how much can it affect the MCU or Phase 4 going forward? But of course, like I prefer to watch stuff like that in the theaters. That's the movie experience. Sitting in a theater with popcorn and soda, whatever you're drinking, or eating, watching it with other people in there and cheering, and having that communal experience. That's obviously that's what I want. But I'm just a little bit curious, like for how long they can hold out with this movie. And like Kevin Feige, he has a lot to say, or he has a lot of leeway in that whole thing. He is the guy in charge of everything MCU. So his opinion, it weighs heavily, weighs like it has merit, or it's quite important, like what he thinks. I'm sure also for the shareholders at Disney, but I'm also sure that some of these shareholders at Disney, and also the people who are in charge of Disney Plus, they might want to put this movie out on Disney Plus, just like Warner just did with Wonder Woman 1984. That was the name, right? 1984, 83, 84. I haven't watched it. We haven't gotten it yet here in Denmark. Not on our HBO service, and not on in theaters either. I don't think we're gonna get it in theaters. And we don't have HBO Max here in Denmark just yet. We have HBO Nordic. Yay. Um, but yeah, they did that. So maybe Disney's gonna follow suit. But let me just see what you guys are saying. It seems like most of you guys are like, yeah, theater, put it in cinema. See here, Minas 8. I'm not sure I would go to the cinema for a while yet. 3 to 4 months not enough for every part of the world. Yeah, and it also depends on where you are in the world. I wouldn't necessarily want to go to a movie theater right now either, because the whole fucking COVID thing is still running rapidly throughout the world. Yeah. What is everybody else saying? Yeah, theaters. And some people just give me the damn movie already. Disney Plus streaming looks like that's the chosen path. Yeah, we'll see what they end up doing. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up putting it on Disney Plus, and they're just gonna skip the whole theater thing there, and maybe wait until the Eternals. I'm looking so much forward to that movie as well. Wonder War 84 is like in bottom three DC movies for me, unfortunately, even though Gal as Wonder Woman is Bay. Yeah, I heard some people saying, or no, like some reviews of the movie saying that wasn't the greatest, and they made some weird decisions in that movie. But I also like know other people who are so into that character and that universe, and have read the comics, grew up on them, that just seeing Gal as Wonder Woman again, like just brought tears to their eyes, and like they're just eating it up. And I definitely get that as well. I sometimes have that, or used to have that with Star Wars. Like, just give me anything Star Wars, I'm gonna love it. But then we got some stuff that I didn't necessarily love as much as other Star Wars properties. So yeah, doesn't matter. If you enjoyed it, great. If you didn't, great as well. There's so much great content out there. And yeah, but I agree with that, Hubel. Just don't do the $30 thing. Too much. $20 max. Yeah, on Disney Plus. I'm curious about why they're doing it that way, like a pay-per-view kind of deal almost, or a VOD where you are paying for the movie even though you already subscribe to the streaming service. So why not just do maybe like they did with Wonder Woman on HBO Max, where it's like, yes, it's gonna be on our streaming service. If now we take Black Widow as an example, now Black Widow is gonna be on our streaming service for about a month or two, and then you're going to be able to watch it if you subscribe to our streaming service. And then they might get a lot of new subscribers, and as soon as they've watched Wonder Woman, or as soon as like that's on its way out, they're going to hit them with something new, another new movie that's going to keep them around, or a new series, and that's how they keep their subscriptions going, subscribers. That's maybe what I would do is how if I was in charge of the whole thing. But no matter what, yeah, as Brace Juice is saying, the mouse needs his money. Ha ha! Ha. Like he wants that money, no matter what. Sorry, that was a very bad Mickey laugh. I used to be better at it, but then again, I have a sore throat at the moment. Maybe because I'm talking so much. So I am just gonna drink a little something else other than alcohol as well, just to not cough. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. All right. And yes, now that we are talking superheroes and stuff, yes, Snyder Cut trailer out tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm curious to see that and curious to see that whole thing as well. I can't believe that it's happening. Goddamn. All right, all right. Should we get into the main topic of today? What I put in the thumbnail. Drink a lot of water. Yes, I should be doing that. I should have some water here instead of some yeah, whatever this is, or I know what it is, but it's like, why can't I come up with the English word for that? The Danish is saft. It's some sort of juice, in a way. No, not really, but you mix it with water and yeah, still some sweet stuff, and then I have a drink. So I should have some water here instead. Instead, I'll remember to drink some more water after the stream when I finish up. But all right, guys, let's get into the main topic. And the main topic is just like you saw on the thumbnail, The Last of Us HBO series. They found their two leads for Joel and Ellie. That was a bit of a surprise, and a welcome one, definitely. It's just some of the names that we've seen out there and people talking about and who they wanted for Joel or Ellie, that yeah, that some of those names like that wasn't what we got still, but I'm so excited for Pedro Pascal. Freaking Pedro Pascal. That guy is just killing it. Like his resume at the moment, especially when it comes to television. Damn, that is fucking crazy. Like he got his big breakthrough, of course, as Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones, where he just killed it. It was a shame that he was cast, or playing a character that was in a limited amount of episodes, you could say, and then it ended with a little squish. um, and then, of course, the big thing that he's doing also right now, he is Din Djarin. He is the Mandalorian, even though he's not always the guy in the suit, but at least he's the voice of the Mandalorian all the time. So he's killing it there. So both HBO and then Disney Plus, and now, yeah, back to HBO with The Last of Us playing Joel. Oh, and he also had a stint over on Netflix in Narcos, where I really enjoyed his character there as well. Or I enjoyed his acting. I always enjoy his acting. I even enjoyed him in the Kingsman sequel. I don't even remember the subtitle of the second one. Wasn't as good as the first one, if you ask me, but fuck yes, Pedro is the goat, as a beautiful lie saying in the chat. He really like he's definitely one of my favorite actors working today. And I just recently found out that he's a huge Prince fan as well. So like then he just scored even more points with me, because as some of you may know, like I'm a huge Prince fan, and he's my absolute favorite. Um, favorite musician of all time. And who was saying here, I love it when good actors who are good people have their careers take off and they get great work. Yeah, definitely. To me, yeah, Pedro is he's just he's a gem. And seems like he's such a good person in real life too. I haven't seen, as I said, I haven't seen the new Wonder Woman, so I don't know how he was in that. But from what I hear, he was definitely one of the highlights in that movie, and he was just leaning completely into the craziness of it all and being like a crazy villain. So yeah, but him as Joel, like I can definitely see him playing that role. When it comes to, and that's what we saw about some of the fan castings out there with someone like Josh Brolin or Hugh Jackman or even a Danish actor also was also in Game of Thrones, Nikolai Coster-Waldau. Like, yeah, they have more of like the physical look of Joel from the games, but they don't need to look like the exact version of the character from the games. Like even that we're talking about Game of Thrones, there were a lot of characters in the series that did not look like the way that they were described in the books, like at all. So it doesn't really matter if they don't look the same way as they do in the source material, as long as they can portray the character. And I think that Pedro Pascal, he definitely has that in him, that vulnerability, but also the very gritty side. Because Joel is kind of a fucking asshole, that gets softened up by him, having to transport this 14-year-old girl across the country. um, and he becomes a better person for it, even though he definitely makes a very questionable slash horrible decision towards the end of the show. Very selfish of the show of the game. And I'm sorry if I'm spoiling some of the stuff here for people who haven't played the games. But it's just such a great story, and I'm interested in seeing whether or not they're gonna keep it the same as the games, or if they're gonna change up more stuff. Oh, I even see some people mentioning. I see Mina's mentioning Mads Mikkelsen would be legend. Oh, so like him as Joel as well. Yeah, maybe. Like yeah, he Mads Mikkelsen can do anything if you ask. Like he is one of the best actors working as well at the moment, and I might be a little bit biased because he's Danish, but but still, he could definitely do it too. But he's also been hired for another big franchise, and he's been in other big movies and series and stuff. Hannibal. So yeah, that's I'm sure he'll get some more opportunities going forward. But I'm very happy for Pedro, and I can't wait to see what he does with the role there. But then we also got the yeah, Ellie. We got Ellie, and that was more like I didn't have any, I didn't see as many like speculation, like when it comes to speculation or like actors that could portray her in the same way as with Joel, like not as many names up in the air. I know, I'm sure a lot of people would say that, hey, you should just hire Elliot Page because he looks like, or like it almost looks like he was the like original character model of sorry, come on, Ellie. Sorry, I don't know where her name just disappeared off to. Um, And I even think Elliot, I don't think he sued them back then, but he was definitely like, that looks suspiciously a lot like me back then, or a younger version of me. But yeah, now Elliot Page is definitely too old to play that role. And I'm sure he wouldn't really want to. And there were some other fan castings out there. I don't quite remember what names that was sort of up in the air. But the one that they chose was Bella Ramsey, who is also in Game of Thrones, playing Lady Mormont. Um, that's uh, that's fucking amazing, I think. Once again, maybe doesn't exactly look like Ellie from the games, but that once again doesn't matter. Like I'm sure she can play that role. She was amazing in Game of Thrones. Just the little few scenes that we got with her as Lady Mormont. Um, and her death also. Man, oh man, like that's actually something that they have in common. Both Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal, like their characters and how they died in Game of Thrones was some of the most brutal deaths, although she went out way more as a G compared to Pedro's character Oberyn. Like he just made a fucking mistake and he was too cocky. Um, but yeah, I'm so excited to see this, and also because some of the same people who worked on the game are a part of the series, and I like it when people who worked on the source material that they are also in like the adaptation, working on the adaptation. We see it where we see it or we're gonna see the last season soon, but we have been seeing it with 5 seasons of The Expanse, with the writers actually, writers of the books working on the series and rewriting some stuff and adding some characters. So it can definitely work like that, and I find that exciting because then you know it's probably in good hands. Um, and even yeah, mentioning Game of Thrones again, like the first 4 seasons where George R. R. Martin was actually helping with writing some of the episodes and even writing a whole episode by himself per season. Um, that was some good shit, man. Those first 4 seasons, man, oh man, I love it, love it, love it. I actually think now that you are asking the question there, Timothy, about who's directing the Last of Us series, I think that they recently changed it. So sorry, I'm just quickly gonna look it up here because at first I'm pretty sure it was gonna be one of the people who did Chernobyl. They might still be working on it, but at least I think they chose someone else. All right, we got the names here. I think they chose a Russian director or something of that sort. Yeah, Kantemir Belagov. Balagov, sorry. Maybe not Russian, but at least or Eastern European. No, it does seem like yeah, Russian. And has been doing some stuff that's quite dark and dreary, dramatic. So that's gonna fit in right there with the whole like with the themes in in The Last of Us, 'cause that is some dark shit going on, at least in the games. And yeah, then it's just nice to see here like on IMDb that it has been updated, the cast. Pedro Pascal as Joel Miller and Bella Ramsey as Ellie. And then the writers, of course, we have Neil Druckmann, who was working on the games, and then Craig Mazin, who's a writer on Chernobyl. So yeah, that's where the Chernobyl credit comes in. So just the names alone. And I even think, did they also announce the composer Gustavo Santao? Sorry, Gustavo Santaolalla, Santoyala. Sorry, I butcher names constantly. Um, but yeah, he's been doing scores for a long while, and for movies like um, Brokeback Mountain, Babel, Wild Tales, and oh, and the Last of Us games. So perfect, fucking perfect. Yes, I love all of it. That is just damn, yeah. The names involved and everything. It makes me so excited for that series, and then hopefully, maybe for the first time, we are going to see like a really good and well-received adaptation of a video game, because there haven't been many. I know, or it seems like a lot of people enjoyed Sonic the Hedgehog. I haven't seen it, so I don't know whether it's worth checking out, but I heard that it was a lot of fun. It is still, if you ask me, like it's different just taking video game characters and adapting them in a way where you write an original story and throw them into the real world or something, compared to actually trying to adapt a very cinematic story-based game like they try to do with Assassin's Creed. Like that's a really interesting story in the games and an interesting universe. But the movie itself, even with someone as awesome as Michael Fassbender in in the lead role and Jeremy Irons as a villain, like that just didn't. Nah, man, nah. That was not good. I did not enjoy that movie at all. I thought it was boring as fuck. Don't know about you guys. Ah, oh, Hoople, you're not a fan of The Last of Us? Sorry, I just called you out. Totally. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Um, but yeah, it's. I know there was a lot of controversy with The Last of Us Part 2, and we're not going to get into that whole thing. Even though I thought the game was fucking spectacular, and the story, although difficult to stomach at times and accept, it was a very important story, and a very human one at that. But that's just me, or it could just be me. Although I know that others agree. Bum 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 bum. I see Timothy asking here: Is Metal Gear Solid adaptation still in the works? Kiefer Sutherland as Snake? Maybe. That's also some games that I haven't really played a lot. I've just tried. I tried the third or the fourth one, I think, and it didn't really grab me. So I might have to go back and just play through all of them at some point. We'll see. Um, but yeah, anywho, guys, what do you think about the casting news of The Last of Us? Is it something that you're looking forward to seeing? Do you know of The Last of Us beforehand? Did you know of it? Have you played it? What did you think of the games? Like, I'm curious to hear what you guys think. And it is, of course, still an option to ask your question or throw in your comment with a little donation for the channel through either Streamlabs up there. You can follow, yeah, type in that link, or you can follow it in the description below, or you can do so. Wow, words, English, Sonny. Or you can also donate and ask a question and throw in a comment through Streamlabs. Not Streamlabs, sorry. That's what I said before. Super Chat. That's a new thing that we do on the channel, which you can do just here on YouTube if you like to, or you can just support us by sounding off in the chat and liking the video as well. Like I see that there are at least a handful of people watching, so it would mean a lot if you just gave the video a quick like. It all helps with the YouTube algorithms and what have you. I see a 9 out of 10 anticipation there from good old Hoople. Um, all right. So I'm gonna jump a little bit more into the chat and just take some more questions. But then I am probably also gonna end this stream a little bit earlier than what I usually do. I have been going on for an hour now, and it is just me talking and talking and talking, and my my throat is getting sort of sore from doing that. I need to be better at drinking a lot of water before, and maybe something with honey. I don't know, like a cup of tea would be a good idea, just so that I don't get like in the middle of the thing. But yeah, cheers again. I say water and tea, and then here we go. Alcohol. Roar. Yes, I should drink more water. You're welcome to bring me some if you want. And that was for Cat. If you guys were thinking about or like confused about that or that sweater girl in the chat, of course that is Cat, and she is there. She is. I'm gonna finish this, and then you can. Oh, and then she's gonna fill this with water. How lucky am I? Okay, so bottoms up on this sugary stuff. And now she's making fun of me. She is sweet. She is. Oh, and I see people here ending the stream and then playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends after on Twitch. Maybe. I do see that some of the people that I usually play online with on PlayStation that they are online right now. They are, playing. Seems like it. So I might be able to get Sack to join again. But yeah, all right. Diving into the chat here a little bit, just seeing what you guys are saying about your anticipations here. I have to wait, or Odysseus is saying, I have to wait to see more to know if I like the casting. Fair enough, fair enough. That is a okay, just staying cautious about the thing. I totally get that. I think it will be good. I did not play the game, but watch my cousin getting mad playing it. Fair enough. Um, yeah, it can also be a little bit difficult at times. All right. Did you guys talk about Cara Dune being fired from Mando? No, I'm not going to. Sorry, Juan. That's not really gonna dive into that. It would maybe create some division, and we don't need that. There are so many other people talking about it online. So, so yeah, there is that. I can still mention like what I expect or what I maybe want for her character going forward. Well, it's not her character anymore, but the character of Cara Dune. If they're gonna keep that character alive or in the show, recast, whatever it is, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. I don't mind if they recast the character. Yeah, it might work. I'm not always a fan of recastings, so maybe I would just prefer for them to just tell us that no, Kara, she went off and became a marshal on some faraway planet, and then we're not gonna see her again, and that's just gonna be it. I think maybe that's what I would prefer. I don't know about you guys. Timothy, I have faith in HBO casting. Good, only played the opening of the first game. That is some opening as well. Can very much recommend playing the rest of the game and the second one if you have the stomach for it. It's quite grim. Um, you don't leave the whole thing feeling very optimistic about humans, especially not in a post-apocalyptic setting. Bum, 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 bum. Greetings from Poland. Oh, from Damien here. We are waiting here for Witcher Season 2, where books and games were created. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. We are definitely waiting for Season 2 of The Witcher 2 as well. Yeah. And as some of you guys may know, like I've played the games, Kat, she's played the games as well, but she has also read pretty much all of the books. I think she still has one to go or something. I read the first book, which is just a collection of short stories, so I still have to get into the saga. I need to get back on that and keep reading the books. Maybe I can get them on audiobook so that I can do other stuff while I'm going through that story of The Witcher. But yes, looking very much forward to season two. Rakatansky, considering how much praise and appreciation comic book adaptations have received in the last 15 years, it sure is about time that video games receive a worthy representation in the mainstream media. Fuck yes, I could not agree more with that. That's finally, if it happens. Brace Juice. Have you seen slash heard of Barry on HBO? Great dark comedy starring Bill Hader. Yes, Kat and I we actually already watched the seasons that are out of Barry, and fucking loved it. Like Bill Hader, man, love that guy and like everything he's in. But that was just pretty special. Just how funny it can be, but also how dark it can be. Like we're a sucker for that stuff. Like it's very much our humor here in Denmark, or our brand of humor. A lot of our most famous movies, or like most or the movies that are the most popular here in Denmark, they have this weird, like, dark comedy thing about them where they can be cracking jokes at one point and the next they like something extremely tragic is happening. We have a lot of that. So Barry was just perfect for people like us, and we love that show. Cannot wait for more. I see some other people here saying, yes, fucking love Barry, 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 Barry. Yes. Oh, that was actually Kat saying that. So yeah, you guys already knew. um, and what else we got? I should play Last of Us. I should give Last of Us a shot. Definitely. Clickers are scary. Great story, action, stealth. Yes. Yes, yes, yes to all of that. Barry season 3 reaction when it comes out? Maybe depends on what we're doing at the time. We also still maybe want to do a Patreon exclusive reaction thing where we're just gonna do some full length reactions there, so I don't have to spend 6 to 8 hours editing those as well while we're doing our other shows. But yeah, it's always a possibility. You never know. And Hubel saying, also, please give Henry Cavill another dang Superman movie. Yes, come on, he's perfect as Superman. I love him in that role, and I think it was such a shame that yes, he got his first solo movie in Man of Steel, and I definitely enjoyed that movie. I think it's a pretty good movie. It has its strengths and weaknesses, but then like his next movie just became an now introduction to Justice League, and it was yeah, it was also just called Dawn of Justice, or Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. So it wasn't really about him that much anymore. So I think yeah, give him another solo movie or just give him another crack at it with that role. We'll see like after like what happens with the Snyder cut. If a lot of people are gonna go like, yes, that was the greatest thing ever. We want more of that. Then I'm sure Warner Brothers are gonna look at it with dollar signs, dollar symbols in their eyes, and be like, yes, we're gonna give you that if you give us the money. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, and you even said that yourself, Hubel, there, yeah. Shazam 2, that movie's with light and fun, dumb action. Love it. Yeah, that was an entertaining movie, definitely. Only three f-bombs so far. I'm fucking sorry. Haha. Um, just out of pure curiosity, have either of you or both of you seen Fleabag? No, not yet, but we want to. And we also need to watch Umbrella Academy season 2, as Kat is saying in the chat. We definitely need to, because we really enjoyed the first one, the first season. Thought of doing a reaction to the Dragon Prince. It might that might be one of the things that we put on the next poll for anime slash short form um, shows. We might do that. We might do that definitely. And yes, we did see the picture or the new picture of Jared Leto's Joker in the Snyder Cut, and um, yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know how much you could tell from like a black and white picture, and I'm just gonna need to see the performance because like you couldn't really get a like it was just plain weird in Suicide Squad, and the editing was even weirder with him, and I don't know. I know Jared Leto is like he's or Jared Leto. People pronounce it differently. I know he's a good actor. So we'll see if he can redeem himself a little bit, redeem that version of the Joker. I do like that, he doesn't. It seems like he doesn't have like the weird grill and like the tattoos, like the damage thing on the forehead. That was just weird. I have been thinking about doing some Rick and Morty reaction stuff. I don't know if Kat is gonna join in on that, but I have been thinking about doing that myself, or maybe bringing in some friends, and then we can sit and laugh and have some fun with that. Because I know how popular Rick and Morty, like how popular that series is. Oh, thank you, Hoople. Thank you so much. And that's a nice little emote there. Thanks for being you. Thank you for being you, and for supporting us the way you do. That's freaking awesome. Um, what do these even look like? Well, you found out. Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. All right. Is there anything else that you guys would like me to just comment on or talk about before I end the stream? Anything going on in the world of pop culture? And of course, mind you, just not something like what happened with um, I'm already forgetting her name. Good riddance, but still, Gina Carano. What happened to her? Like, not gonna comment a lot on that whole thing and stuff like that. But anything else in the world of pop culture that you would like to hear my opinion on, or maybe Kat's if she's still in the chat, then please just send it in through the chat or through Streamlabs or Superchat, whichever you prefer. Um, we appreciate all of it. And yeah, whiskey and Rick and Morty. Yeah, that could be fun. I know. What are they called? I'm always so bad at pronouncing their name. But Dos Cabezos, another reaction channel that just um, very fast growing reaction channel on YouTube that they quickly went ahead of us and when it comes to subscribers and views and everything. But they at least they did Rick and Morty reactions on the rocks, I think that they called it, where they were maybe drinking a little bit while watching Rick and Morty, and I'm sure like that was a lot of fun. So maybe do something like that. Bum. What about the Mortal Kombat movie? Oh. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I haven't played the Mortal Kombat games a lot, so I don't know a lot about them. But I know they're violent as fuck, so I'm thinking that movie is definitely gonna be R-rated. We'll see. I know there's an old Mortal Kombat movie that some people like they really revere a lot in a nostalgic way. It's not because they're saying that it's a good movie or anything, but they're just nostalgic about it, at least. They're from Texas, Dos Cabezos. Okay, I actually didn't know that they were from Texas, even though that I've talked with them a little bit back and forth earlier on. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. So, what do you think of? Oh, this is from a late night alum. So, what do you think of Emily Van Camp slash Sharon Carter coming back to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Yeah, it makes sense. You know, her character, it was some a character that they introduced in the Winter Soldier, and then she was also in Civil War, where it's a bit iffy, like how her and Cap kind of hooked up, but then they just never really addressed that again. But then thankfully Cap ended up with the Peggy Carter instead, which is like, but he still sort of hooked up with Peggy's, what was it, granddaughter? Is that what Sharon Carter is? She's Peggy's granddaughter, something. They're related, so it was just a bit weird and iffy. But it makes sense that they're bringing her back into the MCU, and I said it before, but I like how they are bringing back a lot of these side characters that we have seen in some of the movies. And I wouldn't be opposed to seeing someone like Darcy pop up in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well. And also Jimmy Woo. I'm really enjoying his inclusion in WandaVision, and I also really enjoyed him in the Ant-Man movies. Ah, water. There we go. That's better for the throat. The photos look funky, but it may be a good martial arts movie. Oh yeah, speaking of Mortal Kombat. Fair enough. I could see that happening. Have people seen the 9-minute live action Mortal Kombat fan video game years ago? I hope the movie is like that, dark and violent. I hope that it's like that as well. I think I saw a little bit of that. Um, Oh yeah, and Cat doing eye makeup on me? No, that's not gonna work. Like I can't even like there's a reason why I'm not using lenses, for example, like when I'm not wearing glasses, which I'm not doing right now, so it's a little bit of a strain on the eyes, but it's all right. Like I can't anything that comes close to my eyes is just a fucking no-go. There we go, another F-bomb. I'm sorry. Ah, all right. Praised you saying Mortal Kombat was a great find a VHS when you're a child and scar yourself for life movie. Nice, nice, good one. At least I didn't do that. I think in an entirely enjoyable way. Nice. Peggy's niece. Oh, it's her niece. Okay, yeah, sorry. Niece, yeah. Not granddaughter. No, that's going back a little. Yeah, Peggy wasn't that old. Ah, but yeah, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man and the Wasp, very, very awesome, great stuff. Yeah, just MCU in general. Now we've been talking a lot about that, but I also promised to mention something else that Hubel did bring up earlier, and that is, have you guys heard about this app called Stereo? It's a pretty cool concept. It's kind of podcasting in a way, where yeah, it's an app that you can use on your phone, or you can also just look it up on like an actual website, stereo.com, And you can find me there, stereo.com/SonnyDK, or just go in there and just look up my name, Sonny Mike Olsen. That's my full name, if anyone was curious about that. And it's basically, you can, in that, like, you go into the website or the app, and then there are these conversations between people. It's just two people having a conversation, just podcasting, but then you, as a listener, you can actually send in little voice messages, and it's extremely easy, where you just, while you're listening to whatever show you're listening to over there, or whatever conversation you're listening to over there, you just press this like little microphone button at the end and hold it, and then you talk and you say whatever you like, a comment, a snarky remark, or a question, anything. And then the people who are on that show or in the conversation, one of the two people, they can play that message, and then they get to hear your voice. And I would love to do something like that, with Kat, with someone else, maybe. Maybe some of the people in the Schmodown community, because I know a lot of those peeps are getting into the stereo app, because that it's a whole new level of interaction, and then I get to hear some of you guys' voices, because at the moment it's just I'm looking at names in the chat and reading, and it can be difficult to sometimes to some people, like just looking at a lot of text, and you can't really read tone a lot, so it gives a whole new layer to the interaction and the conversation that people like I and like other content creators can have with the viewers or the audience or the listeners. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that and look it up, and maybe find me over there on stereo. And then one of these days, I'm definitely gonna announce it on both Twitter and YouTube. Excuse me, Instagram maybe as well, Facebook. Like when we go live, when I go live, if it's with Kat or someone else, and then please join in and just send us a lot of voice messages so that I can hear your voices and talk to you in a way. That would be pretty amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that for you guys here at the very end of the stream, that is gonna be an option going forward, or at least I really want to do something like that over on stereo and have some cool conversations over there. And it's also easier for me to just start up a conversation on stereo. I don't have to do the whole setup here. I don't have to open the computer really. I can just do it on my phone. Or at least I don't have to use a camera. I don't have to set up anything. I don't have to do the whole lighting thing that's going on in the background where you can't see it. I can just lay on my couch and look at the ceiling and be real comfortable about it, and then still do sort of a podcast thing and with you guys, and you can do the same. So I hope that you will consider at least looking at the whole stereo thing. And even if like you're not gonna listen to me talking all the time over there with other people, then there are also different cool personalities. I can very much recommend, which I know I do a lot, but the people over from SEN or the Schmodown Entertainment Network, like Christian Harloff and Brett Sheridan. There's also people like John Roca and Roxy Straya. Yeah, so many of those cool people over there are using the stereo app and having a lot of fun with it, and some cool conversations where you can join in, and just yeah, have fun. That's what it's all about. It's just entertainment and having fun and doing something while we're all kind of locked up at home, right? So we don't lose our fucking minds. Sorry, that's F-bomb number 5 or 6 or something. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me see if you guys are asking question. So you can hear my awesome voice? Yeah, exactly. And it's free. Stereo is totally free. Like you don't have to pay for it at all. It's just downloading the app, which is free, or going on the website, which is also free, and putting in the messages. It's free. It's all free. You don't have to pay for anything at all with that. And yes, you can also hear other people. If you're listening to the show, then you hear what other people send in as well. So if you're also like a part of this community, for example, and you're curious about some of the people that you've seen in the chat before, or some of the people who are, very active on this channel, besides, who's on camera, like me and Kat, and also Major Dad. I know Major Dad is very interested in doing some stereo conversations with me, because he's always, good to talk to, and can also, just like me, talk a lot. And I know Zach is willing to do that as well. So you can hear both us and then the other people sending in the messages over there. So it's quite neat, and I can very much recommend just having a look at it, or yeah, just a gander at the stereo app. All right. But yeah, we are getting to the end here. I said an hour, but then I kept talking, so now it's almost an hour and a half. And yeah, so I'm just gonna look at the chat here, see what you people are saying, and then if you wanna put in any last messages, either just in the chat or through Streamlabs or Super Chat, then please do so now. And then I'm gonna just have a quick sip of my drink while that's going on. Cheers again. Skål. I do love a good whiskey and coke. Hey, Sonny. Oh, hey, Em. I see you got your green mouse slash frog in the background. Oh, you mean Grogu? You want to say hi to Grogu? Or does Grogu want to say hi? Maybe. Let's see if we can get him to talk. Yes. Mm-hmm. What else? Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree. Yep. That's it from Grogu. But yeah, if you didn't know what Grogu is, then yeah, Grogu is from The Mandalorian. We still don't know the name of Grogu's species, but it's same species as Yoda. And I'm sure if you haven't seen a lot of Star Wars, then maybe you've heard about Yoda. Is that Bushmills whiskey? No, it's. Why can't I remember the name of the whiskey that I'm drinking? It's because it's a whiskey that I don't usually drink. It was something I got from Major Dad actually because he didn't like it. But I'll apparently drink anything. So I just took it off his hands, and now I am drinking it and enjoying it. So it's a good one. It's not a it's not a really dark whiskey. It's a little bit light whiskey, but it's still, yeah, I don't know, but it's still, yeah, okay. I think Cat is putting in the name Glenfiddich, Glenfiddich, Glenfidda. I think, yeah, the first one you put in Glenfiddich, something like that. I think that's the name of it. Oh yeah, any Glen, yeah. Swingers quote for the win. Oh yeah, exactly. Damn, I haven't seen that movie in a long while. Gonna have to rewatch that at some point. All right, guys. It seems like that's it for the questions and stuff like that in the chat. Streamlabs, Super Chat. I really appreciate you guys joining here for another catch up with Sonny on this Saturday, well, evening for me, and I'm sure it's yeah, middle of the day for some of you guys out there, or maybe it's even later. Time differences, man. But yeah, I appreciate it a lot and just keeping me company while I talk about some of the stuff that I love and some of the stuff that I find interesting. And I hope you at least found some of it interesting as well. Both with all the Marvel stuff that we got to talk about. For once, it wasn't all Star Wars, and the Last of Us stuff as well. Yeah, 1.5 hour. It just time flies by so fucking fast. All right. Just having one last glance at the chat. All right. Seems like yes, that's it. Okay. Thank you guys so much once again for joining me and I hope that you're going to join me next week. I don't know exactly what that one's going to be about. Hopefully, I'm going to have a guest on the show so that I don't have to talk all the time by myself. Then I can rest or I can just let my voice just have a little break once in a while and then remember to drink some freaking water while I am sitting here as well and not just drinks and sugary water. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Take care out there. Stay safe. And I will see you as soon as possible. I was just about to say, oh well, I'm gonna say it anyway. May the force be with you always.